Hey everyone, today I want to review this bike, which is the TanTan X68 carbon road bike. This bike is very cheap to buy it from TanTan. It's only $2,400 US. I've made some modifications, so my build probably costs around $2,800 US, but I believe that this is one of, if not the fastest carbon aero road bike that you can buy for this price point. Okay, and I'll explain why. So, the bike comes with full Shimano 105 Di2 Groupset. It comes with an integrated handlebar, but I've swapped that out. It comes with some sort of wavy wheels that kind of emulate the Princeton Carbon Works wheels, but I've swapped them out for deeper wheels. And I've also swapped out the cassette and the saddle. So let me talk you through what I've got here. So in terms of the frame itself, let's just say TanTan takes some very heavy inspiration from a big brand that rhymes with breathalyzed, and in particular the SL8. Okay, so if you look at the tubes, you can see that if you're familiar with that bike, that they're, let's just say, taking some very heavy inspiration. And that's good because the bike that I'm referring to has a lot of wind tunnel data to suggest that it's one of, if not the fastest aero road bike, in terms of the drag coefficient, okay? So the tubes are very optimized aerodynamically. The wheels, I swapped out TanTan's wheels for the Elite Edge Disc 1.0 wheels. These are 65 mils. I've got them set up with tubeless GP Conti 5000 tires, and they've got ceramic bearings. The pair of wheels, I think, is around 1,400 grams, which is very light for 65 mil wheels. And the wheels themselves only cost 1,000 Australian. And because I bought the bike without wheels, I got a $1,000 discount. So basically, there was no change in the price for swapping out the wheels, just the price of buying the tires. The saddle, I've got the Riot, which is like an AliExpress Chinese brand saddle. Super reliable. I've used this on my old bike, Giant TCR. It's full carbon, very light, and it's got this nice 3D printed mesh, which allows you to kind of sit in different positions and kind of lock in if you're in like an aero tuck position. Now, the cockpit that the TanTan comes with is very similar to, let's just say, they're taking some heavy inspiration from the Roval cockpit. Okay, it's an integrated bar and stem combination. The reason I've gone and replaced that is because I like to have more adjustability, which is why I've got a separate bar and stem, so that you can adjust the angle, you can swap out different stems and so forth. So the bar is a carbon aero bar from a company called Fastaway, which is just AliExpress sort of special. This was only about $100 Australian. The stem is just a giant, it's just an old alloy giant stem, but I will be replacing this with a more aerodynamic carbon stem. The cassette I've swapped out because this cassette was only about 70 Australian dollars and it's lighter than Dura-Ace. So this is about 200 grams lighter than the 105 cassette. Now, in terms of the drivetrain efficiency, the 105 chain and jockey wheels are about 1 or 2 watts slower in total than Dura-Ace. So I will swap those out for either Dura-Ace or like a high-end AliExpress, and that should recover those wattages. A Tarmac Specialized SL8 is 12,500 Australian dollars. This bike is around 4,000 Australian dollars. And with those changes that I made, it'll add a bit to the cost, but it'll be basically faster or just as fast as the SL8. The water bottles, these are just from AliExpress. I think they're about $20 or $30. They're just magnetic. They're not new. I just took them off my old bike. So I think you save around 2 or 3 watts having these bottles. But how does the bike ride? Well, the short answer is it's beautiful. It's super comfortable, very responsive. I was worried because the carbon layup might be different from the SL8. I thought it might be too harsh, too stiff, but turns out very, very comfortable. But anyway, I'm not sponsored by TanTan. I just think this is a super good value bike. If you can find a faster bike than this for this price point, let me know, because I genuinely think this is one of the best value race bikes you can buy at this price point with, Di2, all the features and whatnot. By the way, the bike, if you buy it from TanTan, is just 7.1 kilos, which is pretty crazy given that it's a 105 group set. My build at the moment is about 7.5 because I've got, the 2-piece and a few things. But when I change this to a carbon stem, change the chain, and if I change the cranks to, let's say, carbon cranks, it will be a little upgrade, but that'll save me another 200 grams. And yeah, with all those savings, it should be about 7.1, 7.2 kilos. Super, super lightweight for an aero bike. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the review. I'll put some more videos of me riding the bike, but yeah, great bike, great value.